The market is changing, and you either adapt or you get left behind. Instead of relying on referrals in 2024, if you're actually serious about scaling your remodeling business, you need to be able to get your name and your brand out there, in front of as many people as possible. And the only way you're going to be able to charge more, but also get in front of the people who actually value your services is through generating your own audience. The days of buying shared leads from Angie or these very big business directors like Yelp, like those days are over. And it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned contractor doing 15 projects a month, or maybe you're just starting out and you're only doing 2 to 3 or maybe 4 kitchen additions per month. At the end of the day, business is a numbers game. And if you don't track your lead generation process from A to Z, you're simply missing out on more leads, more qualified leads, and ultimately just more closed deals. So here's the 10 metrics that you actually need in order to have some more predictability within your business. The average project value will obviously vary. If you're doing bigger projects like full kitchen remodels or gut jobs, it's going to be anywhere from 25 to maybe even 50K. But if you're doing these smaller, minor jobs like installing a kitchen island, or you're just refacing some cabinets, then obviously the project value will be anywhere from 1 to 10K, depending on how much you charge. Then you just input your profit margins, and then you actually calculate your cost per lead by dividing your monthly ad spend by the number of leads you get per month. So assuming you're spending, let's say you spend 1,000 monthly ad spend and you're generating 30 leads a month, that means each lead is worth $33 or roughly. Then you just input the number of estimates you do per month, then the number of closed projects. And if you are paying somebody like a monthly retainer, or you are paying somebody to actually generate these leads on your behalf, then just input, obviously, how much you're paying them monthly. And after you input these results, you're going to be able to know your total revenue generated per month, your cost per acquisition, or just customer acquisition cost. And then the two big factors that this video is all about, your estimated return on ad spend in percentage every single month, as well as your estimated ROI in percentage every single month. So let's actually just plug in some conservative numbers. Let's say that the average project value of a kitchen is 20K. Your profit margins are 15%. You're spending 1,200 a month on ads, and you're currently generating 40 leads a month. That means each lead, the cost per lead is $30. Let's say that the leads to appointments conversion rate is 30%, and then the appointments to closing rate conversion rate or closing conversion rate is 25%. So that means you're actually getting 12 estimates a month and 3 closed projects. And just as a side note, I'm going to be linking this calculator in the description, so feel free to like plug in your own numbers. After plugging in these numbers, you're going to notice you're generating 60K a month, right? Your cost per acquisition is $733 roughly. Your estimated ROAS in percentage every single month is 750%, and your estimated ROI percentage every single month is 409%. Now, realistically speaking, every remodeler is looking for a greater return on investment than 4x, right? But it's important to understand that as long as you're able to point into that trajectory by hyper testing ad creatives, changing your offer, tweaking the copy, you're gonna be fine. Because marketing and advertising is a long-term game. But as you may know, long-term results require long-term efforts. Now, you all have access to the exact copy, creatives, campaign settings that my team uses. But the thing is, you also need to be able to play with the algorithm. And what does that actually mean though? Play with the algorithm as in just optimize the data metrics like lowering the CPL, playing around with the form submission rate, the click-through rate. All these factors actually play into actually being able to find a winning ad. And if you're not tracking your numbers with this calculator, I mean, you're not going to know what step of your lead generation process is the bottleneck. Now, obviously, these numbers are going to vary from contractor to contractor. Not every contractor I speak with has a profit margin of 15%. Maybe it's just you and a couple other guys. So your profit margins are like 40%. Or maybe you have multiple crews and you have to pay multiple program managers, architects, interior designers, and that kind of eats up your profit margins, and that's completely fine. But what's not fine is, generating leads, but not being able to track your progress. And so it's actually important to be able to understand how many leads am I actually generating per month. And if you are generating, let's say, 20 leads and each lead might be worth $60, I mean, if you're converting 50 to 60% of them, that that's good. Like I'd rather generate $60, $70 leads that my clients are able to close at a closing rate of 60 to 70% than send them a bunch of garbage leads. But let's just say that I generated 70 leads instead. Now, even though the cost per lead dropped to less than $20, which is amazing, if my client is only closing about 10 to 15% of them, and most of them are actually garbage and just tire kicking, that's when I need to add more friction to the lead form. I need to add more friction to the process, whether that's if you're asking questions on a lead form or using a custom landing page like we are for our clients, right? So it's actually not really about lowering the CPO. It's just about if you're able to sacrifice lowering the CPO for quantity and just balancing quantity over quality. So, once again, this calculator is great and all, but at the end of the day, if you're not generating your own audience, so if you're not posting organic content, if you don't have a website up, if you're not running SEO, if you're not running ads, if you're not just getting your name out there and making people know who you are, especially nowadays in 2024 when trust is at an all-time low, you're not going to make it. Now, hopefully I've given you enough value for you to let me pitch you for the next 10 seconds. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you want the system directly implemented into your business, without any headaches on your behalf, completely done for you, feel free to book in a call. If not, that's completely fine. I'll keep these weekly posts up. And so, with a bunch of like downloadable guides and stuff. And so, if you find this content helpful, the best thing that you can do, honestly, is just subscribe and just keep watching it and supporting the channel. All right. Have a nice day, guys. See ya.